The holidays are quickly approaching, and many of us are making our gift-giving lists and trying to stay on budget. But how do you avoid overspending and emotional shopping? Here to help us is Dr. Karyn Gordon. It's so important.
But yes, such a good topic.
Well, I love this time of year. I love it for the food and the family, in that order. Just joking. Family and the food.
But don't you have your birthday around this time too?
Oh my God, don't even mention my birthday. I go crazy for my birthday.
Because no, I'm December 30th.
January 6th.
Oh! I know, I love the season.
I will remind you when we get close to my birthday. And I will remind you again on the day of, okay? So I'm big on my birthday, I'm big on the holidays, but here's the thing. Most people are a ball of stress during the holiday season, and a lot of that has to do with money.
Yes. 69% of people are stressed over the season. Over 50% are like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for things. So this is a wonderful season, but it can be very stressful.
Yes.
And there's a whole emotional part around guilt, where a lot of people feel guilt.
Absolutely.
Thinking I should be buying things, my family are buying things, my friends are buying things, so I should really be doing it, but really should we?
Well, this is what you're going to ask us to start second thinking about. We need to start thinking about this idea of putting value and love and wrapping it up in a dollar sign. And that's the shift that needs to happen. So you say the first thing we need to do is change that thinking.
Change the thinking. So if you're feeling guilt, okay, so a lot of people will say, well, what causes guilt? Guilt is an emotion. It's one of the 3,000 emotions that we actually have. And what the thing that drives it is the thinking, okay? So the thinking could be either healthy or it could be unhealthy. But most people, if they're feeling guilty around Christmas or the holiday season, is like, I should be, fill in the blank, right?
Yes.
I should be giving my friend the gift because she bought me. I should be buying the things for my extended family because that's what we've always been doing. I should, and therefore we feel guilty if we actually don't do it. And so my encouragement for people to do is say, stop, hang on a second, use the guilt as your flag, saying, well, hang on a second, is that really even healthy? Is that actually a good thing? And I would say, no. It's actually a very unhealthy thought, because is the season really about stuff? Or is the season really about being with each other?
Okay.
Okay, and if the focus is being with each other, then all the stuff, and I'm not against gifts, I love shopping, I love this, you know, all the stuff, but it needs to be secondary, not primary.
And then the next step is, how do I tell them this? Without looking like the cheapest family member on the planet. So either I'm cheap, or I'm basically saying I can't afford this, which means I'm making myself vulnerable, because I'm saying we don't have the finances to continue this charade. Or I'm just saying I don't want to do it, which makes I feel like a bad person.
So you could do kind of like two different things. You could either basically, for yourself, going, you know what, for a number of reasons, I don't want to be doing it. I'm going to set some boundaries, and we're going to talk about some of the boundaries. You could just start setting boundaries. You don't even have to have the talk. You can just say, you know, we're deciding to do things a little bit differently around here in our family, so we're here are a few different things that we can do. So we can just kind of start setting boundaries. But if you feel like things have been so ingrained in your family, and so let's say your extended family, there's an unspoken rule that everybody buys stuff, and your own family are like, you know what, I don't really think we want to adopt that value, then you need to be what we call an adult child, and then you have to actually stand up for your own value.
Right. The best thing you said to me before the show is every time you set a boundary, it's going to get uncomfortable.
It's going to get uncomfortable.
It is. That's
so
just life.
Awkward.
It's going to get awkward.
You're going to feel like your armpits are sweating.
Hot.
Like hot. Very awkward. But you're going to have relief, and guess what? You're going to have no more resentment.
Right.
Because when we don't set boundaries, then we get irritated, we get bitter, we get resentful, and then what do, everyone? We go like this.
Yes.
We push them back.
I want to see you less. I don't want to feel like this very often.
That's
I'm going to give you the gift you need.
Right.
But I definitely don't like it.
Yes.
And then also compromises. So you can say, instead of every single person getting and giving a gift, let's just give it to the kids. Let's just stick to the kids.
Absolutely. And that would be one of the boundaries you could set.
And that could be one of the boundaries you set. But I like that. I like that way of thinking, and we need to switch that, because there are a lot of people who are struggling right now to make ends meet, and saving face is not a good reason to go into major debt every holiday season.
Absolutely.
Can't do it.
Absolutely.
So you have ways that we might be able to budget. Let's say you have had job loss, or maybe things just are a little bit tight this year. You've got ideas for how you can give gifts without spending tons of money.
And these are all kind of emotional boundaries that can actually help you emotionally, but also financially as well.
Right.
And the average person, just so you know, if you're actually looking at the stats, it's about $1,000. Most families in America are spending $1,000 on Christmas gifts, $495 per child.
Okay.
Okay, like that is like
are scoring.
I know, but you know what? You kind of come back to the values. You want all your decision making. You want to be starting with your value. What is your value? And then you make decisions according to that value. So in our home, we don't spend that much, but it's because I don't want our kids to get all the stuff. So it's a lot less in our home, but that's the reason why. And so we then make decisions accordingly. But that's kind of the stats. So what can you actually do? Tip number 1 is you want to think ahead. Talk to your partner and think ahead. How much do you actually want to spend in your family per child? You want to talk to your spouse or your partner if you have one, and then talk to your kids, because if your budget is going to be $100 or $200, you need to let your kids know that, because otherwise they're going to be giving you like their wish list with $600 gifts.
Right.
You're like, this is not very realistic.
We're not doing that this year.
So let your know what your boundaries, and then let your kids know.
Okay, got it. Let them in on it.
Let them know. Yes.
You can get creative. You say.
Get creative. So in my house growing up, we did not have extra resources. So my parents were very creative, and I was thinking about it actually driving here this morning, that 2 of my favorite gifts were because my parents had to think really creative. It was like an old cash register that my dad got it like at a garage sale for like $5 or $10, and a bulletin board that my dad made probably for a few dollars that I still have. In fact, it's actually in my son's room.
That's beautiful.
And so you don't have to kind of do like these big stuff. You can get creative. You can make stuff. You can go to secondhand stores. You can go to garage sales. You can do things like online. So really think outside the box. It doesn't have to be stuff.
I love that. And we all know, anyone who has kids, knows kids, goes and visits kids, they play with the toys for 7.5 minutes.
Right. Or the paper. Maybe
they play with the paper.
They play with the paper. Yeah, the box.
The toy for 7 minutes and it's over. It's over. I'm so happy I spent $1,000. That was so worth it. Okay, really good tips. Thank you so much for that, Karyn.